We're now on Chapter 4, Lesson 5, Problem Solving, Multiplied Money. For these word problems, we'll still be using picture boxes, the part whole. However, it's not going to be just one per question. We're going to be creating a different part whole relationship for each item involved. So let's look at number 1 and see how that breaks down. 3 friends go to the local farmer's market. Ashley spends $8.25. Natalie spends 4 times as much as Ashley. Patrick spends $9.50 more than Natalie. How much does Patrick spend? So usually we draw a picture box of part whole, but this time we're going to have 3. And the reason why is we have 3 friends. So we're going to draw a separate picture box for each of them. We first have Ashley, and so we'll put Ashley's name here. And all I'm doing right now is listing the 3 friends. Ashley, the next person is Natalie, and then we have Patrick. And so here you could see that I circled and wrote Ashley, Natalie, and Patrick. For each of the boxes, we're going to draw it based on the information given. So here, 3 friends go to the local farmer's market, Ashley, Natalie, Patrick. Ashley spends $8.25. There's no equation here. It's straight up $8.25. So if you were to draw a box here, you know that Ashley's is $8.25. So next to Ashley's name, I wrote one box that says $8.25. And I got it from this sentence right here. Natalie spends 4 times as much as Ashley. So what we're going to do for Natalie is we're going to have 4 times as much as Ashley. So if we know that Ashley is $8.25, Natalie has that 4 times. And what that will look like is, here's one box, and if Ashley spent $8.25, and Natalie spent 4 times as much as her, you'd have Ashley's box one time, $8.25, a second time, a third time, and a 4th time. So when you find out that Natalie spends 4 times as much as Ashley, we have 4 boxes because it's 4 times as much, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you get the $8.25 because that's how much Ashley spent. So $8.25 4 times. Last but not least, we have to worry about Patrick. Patrick spends $9.50 more than Natalie. So you have to find out where Natalie is. Natalie is right here, and she has $8.25 4 times. Patrick spends exactly how much Natalie spent, plus $9.50. Patrick spends $9.50 more than Natalie, so you have to copy Natalie's. So far Natalie has $8.25 4 times. So far all I did for Patrick was I copied Natalie's, because Patrick spends $9.50 more than Natalie, so he definitely spent what Natalie spent, and he has an extra $9.50. So let's review these. Ashley spends $8.25. She has one box of $8.25. Natalie spends 4 times as much as Ashley. We take Ashley's, and we have that 4 times. And last but not least, Patrick spends $9.50 more than Natalie. We copy Natalie's, $8.25 4 times, and he spends $9.50 more than that. Now the question here is asking, how much does Patrick spend? So we don't have to solve Ashley, we don't have to solve Natalie, we're looking just for this equation right here. If we want to find out how much Patrick spends, we look at Patrick's boxes, and we could do $8.25 plus $8.25 plus $8.25 plus $8.25 plus $9.50. And that's one way to solve it. Make sure that you line up your decimals if you do choose that route. And by lining up your decimals, I'm talking about this decimal right here, all need to be aligned so that the ones line up, the tenths line up, and the hundredths line up. If we're to add this up, 5 plus 5 is 10. 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. Regroup. 2 plus 2 is 4. Plus 2 is 6. Plus 2 is 8. Plus 2 is 10. Plus another 5 is 15. And here I'm going to use, I'm going to add the 9 and the 1 first because I know that right here is 10. 8 plus 8 is 16. 8 plus 8 is 16. So here I'm thinking 16 plus 16 plus 10. Now think 10, 20, 30, and then 6 plus 6 is 12. So I know altogether that's going to be 42. So all his total is $42.50. Another way you could have done that is you could see that you're repeating 825 4 times. So you could have done 825 times 4. Because addition, multiplication is repeated addition, and you're repeating 825 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And this is going to be the technique that they kind of want you to utilize more so because we're learning the multiplication and we're in the multiplication unit. And so I'd encourage you to do 825 times 4, and you'll find this chunk, which is Natalie's. 4 times 5 is 20. Regroup the 2. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. And 4 times 8 is 32, plus 1 is 33. Here we'll move our decimals. 2 times, no times, so a total of 2 times. Then once you get that this total is $33 for these 4, you add the $9.50. The tricky part with the $9.50 is you have to make sure the ones line up, the decimals, the tenths, and the hundredths. If not, your whole answer is going to be wrong. But you can see here, the numbers that you're adding up are a little bit smaller in the sense that you don't have a stream of numbers as you did here. But you will arrive at the same answer. Feel free to use either method, adding, addition, or multiplication. But keep in mind we are in the multiplication chapter for a reason. Alright, let's set up number 2. Kimmy's saving account has a balance of $76.23 in June. Before I continue, I want to review the word balance. Balance is the amount of money in a bank. So by the end of June, this lady named Kimmy has $76.23. By September, her balance is 5 times as much as her June balance. So you can see that in September, her balance increases 5 times that amount. So that means her balance is getting bigger. Between September and December, Kimmy deposits a total of $87.83 into her account. The word deposit means to add money. If you withdraw, you take away money. If she does not withdraw any money from her account, what should Kimmy's balance be in December? So we kind of know that this lesson is going to have different sections. In the first one, we had 3 friends, and so our sections were Ashley, Natalie, and Patrick. For this one, we're going to be focusing on the months. And so I'm going to be looking and circling the important months. So I'm going to reread this, circling the important months. Kimmy's savings account has a balance of $76.23 in June. Just like we circled the 3 friends' names for your 3 categories, I'm going to find June as one of our checkpoints. By September, her balance is 5 times as much as her June balance. So we have June, and now we have September. Between September and December, Kimmy deposits a total of $87.83 into her account. So now we have June, September, and December. If she does not withdraw any money from her account, what should Kimmy's balance be in December? So we have 3, coincidentally we also have 3 categories, and our 3 checkpoints are going to be June, September, and December. So just like for Ashley, Natalie, and Patrick, we wrote their names out, we're going to write June, September, and December. Now each of these categories or months are going to have their own part whole picture box. Kimmy's savings account has a balance of $76.23 in June. This picture box is fairly straightforward. It's one box and it's the exact amount. In June, it's a statement. It's $76.23. So June is going to have one box with that amount. That is June. Now, by September, her balance is 5 times as much as her June balance. So 5 times as much means it's increasing. So it's increasing 5 times that. So if she has one box of $76.23, that was June. September is 5 times that amount. So there's one box of that amount, a second box, a third box, a fourth box, and a fifth box. 5 times this amount. So you have 5 boxes because it's 5 times, and in each box you're going to have $76.23, the same amount. So she made a lot of money from June to September. We have June at $76.23 based on that sentence. And the September sentence is saying 5 times as much as the June balance. 5 boxes of June. Last but not least, December. Between September and December, so far it's this amount, Kimmy deposits a total of $87.83 into her account. So she has what she had in September, so you have to copy this whole thing. So September was $76.23 5 times. We need to copy that. And in December, they did something called deposit. And I'm going to talk about that after I finish copying $76.23 5 times. So in December, they had the September balance, and what they did was they deposited, not they, she, Kimmy, she deposited $87.83 to her account, which means she put in that money. So we're going to add that. If she were to withdraw it, you would subtract it, and you take away, but this time we're depositing, we're adding to. If she does not withdraw any money from her account, what should Kimmy's balance be in December? So just like with Patrick, we only worried about Patrick. Right now, we're only going to worry about December. To find December, we're going to add $76.23 plus $76.23, $76.23, $76.23, $76.23, and last but not least, the $87.83. Instead of adding $76.23 5 times, we can just multiply. We are in the multiplication chapter for a reason. For fun and giggles, I will do the addition, but I am hoping you're going to wean away from addition and use multiplication. Most important thing with addition is that you line up your decimals. That is the main reason students get a lot of problems wrong. 2, 3, 4, 5. And as I'm talking, I'm almost forgetting what I'm doing. All right. And 87.83. Now, one thing I don't love about the addition here is that there's so many numbers for you to keep track of. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Adding it up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus 8, 19. 6, 12, 18, 24. See, I mean, it's not as fun when you're doing the addition. You might as well do multiplication because you're multiplying anyway. I'm going to show you that later. 6, 12, 18, 24, 31, 38. Actually, I'm 7, 35, 36, 37, 38. 6. And don't forget your decimal. Now, you could do the addition way, But as I said, I'm going to focus more on the process for multiplying. We have $76.23 being repeated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And so we're going to multiply that number by 5. 5 times 3 is 15. Regroup the 1. 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. 5 times 6 is 30. Plus 1 is 31. Last but not least, 5 times 7 is 35. Plus 3 is 36, 37, 38. Now we have to worry about the decimals. There's a decimal in the first number, and you had to move it 2 times, 2 place values. There's no decimal in the next one, so no decimal to worry about. You have to move the decimal total of 2 times. Now once you multiply this, you have to add your remaining deposit. $381.15 plus the $87.83. 5 plus 3, like I said, the most important thing is to line up your decimals so that your tenths, your hundredths, your ones, tens, hundreds all line up. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. Decimal. 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. 3 plus 1 is 4. So regardless, you should be having the same answer, which is $468.98. But I really hope that you're going to utilize this second one right here. As a cheat sheet or a side note, what I'm asking quite a few students to do to line up your place value is to just go hundreds, tens, ones, decimal, tenths, hundredths. And then line up all the numbers. 381 decimal 15 and 87.83 here. So, I mean, for those of you who don't do the interventions and stuff, what I have students do to help them keep track is to write a little cheat sheet on top, lining everything up, almost like in chapter 1 when we do those place value charts, virtually making a place value chart whenever you're adding decimals, because it can get a little tricky. So if you need to draw a place value chart in order to add your decimals, do it. You know, that extra step is worth it. Some people don't have a choice and you have to do it, but it doesn't hurt to do it. So that is it for lesson 4-5. I hope you have fun with numbers 3 and 4. Don't forget to show your work and justify as well as for the backside. Have a good day.